I'm going to tell you how you can make $500,000 a year as a product manager working for a top tech company. My name is Alex. With this channel, we talk about product management, entrepreneurship, and how to get into top tech companies. If you like this video, please make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything, and of course, hit the like button. First, a disclaimer. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Yes, you can be a product manager earning $500,000 a year at a top tech company, but it's going to take determination, effort, and a certain skill set to get there. This video provides an overview of what you need to do, and we'll have separate videos outlining more detail for each step. Having said that, let's get started. First thing you need to do is start a business or a side hustle. If you've already got one going, that's perfect. If you don't, now's the perfect time to get that on your resume. There's two reasons why you want to do this. Number one, you want to be able to teach yourself to handle end-to-end development of something that is customer facing. Number two, it is actually very helpful on your resumes in order to be considered to actually get your foot in the door with these companies. So if you don't have a business, if you don't have a side gig or a side hustle, go ahead and start one as soon as possible. We'll have separate videos talking about what you can do. But for now, it doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be wildly successful. But you do need to get experience in that so that you have something to show on your resume and to a potential recruiter. Next step is you want to create the right resume. Now, we're going to do a separate video talking about resumes. But for now, let me just give you some high-level tips. Have no more than one page for every 10 years experience you have. I would recommend capping almost every resume at one page. Secondly, make sure you don't list job duties, responsibilities, or other nonsense in the resume. You want to keep it action-oriented, has something to do with impact, what you did, what you changed, what you delivered as much as possible. It should be action-oriented. There should be verbs in every line. And include metrics as much as possible in your resume because it shows the direct impact of your actions. Another important thing for resumes is if you have a top tier university, make sure you prominently display it. If you have second or third tier university, you can put it on the bottom. If you have no education, don't worry about it as long as you have a relevant work experience. We're going to have a separate video. We have a separate video talking about what actual experience you need. So if you're in college right now, or if you have little work experience, or if you've been out of the job field for a while, we'll talk about that separately on another episode. Next step is to find referrals at each one of these top tech companies that you want to apply. Note down the company that actually has the job available and go into your LinkedIn, Facebook, and see if you can identify anybody that works at that company. Each employee that actually gets a successful referral, somebody hired, they usually get a bonus. So it's a win-win situation. And most importantly, you actually will go in front of a recruiter if you've been referred internally. If you come in from an outside job post, chances are no one will even look at your resume. That's just the reality of the volumes of resumes and interest that these tech companies receive. There are millions of applicants in the course of a year. Very easy to get lost. Usually an internal referral will generate a special link for you, which you can use to apply for the same positions that you would have applied outside, but you now do it through an internal referral. This will actually get your resume viewed by a recruiter. We'll talk separately about the fact that recruiters actually likely only look at your resume for 5 to 7 seconds. We'll talk about how to actually get your resume to pop for that recruiter to get you that initial phone call. The next step is learning how to pass the various stages of a PM interview at a top tech company. There are a few stages. First, it's a phone screen, usually by a recruiter. Then usually there's a phone screen with an actual PM or another person evaluating your candidacy. And finally, there's an on-site series of interviews. We'll handle all of that process in a separate video. For now, just know that there's going to be a lot to learn about that process. It's a separate process, though for PMs, it's very, very relevant to the actual work you're doing. So studying for that process is the same as studying for the actual work. So just keep in mind that there's going to be a lot of prep work you're going to need to do to be able to ace each one of those steps. If we've done all of this correctly, you have received an offer. We're going to use a variety of tools to actually evaluate the offer, and we're going to use a couple of tactics in order to increase and improve the offer that we receive. Most important thing to keep in mind here is that you do not need to accept any offer over the phone. Usually top tech companies will try to give you to agree verbally before they issue a written offer. There's going to be a lot of finer details, but the most important thing to note is do not panic. There are some resources in the description below of where you can go to actually check the ranges of offers for a particular role, particular level, and there's other resources where you can actually ask questions about it. But the important thing is that this is the spot where it will determine what your actual compensation is for the next several years. It might actually set up your entire trajectory in the company. So it's very, very important to get this right. Obviously, this is a very high level view. We're going to go into a lot more detail about all of this. But at this point, if you're in the company, you're not done yet. You're going to need to hit the ground running, make an impact very, very quickly. We'll talk about best starting dates as well. But promo is the game you're going to need to play in order to advance internally, assuming you do want to advance internally. And depending on the level you start, you may need to do that in order to reach the actual high level of compensation that this video was talking about. You can then also move to a different tech company after you have one on your resume. For instance, if you've worked at Google for several years, it is easier for you to switch to another company. You could conceivably even switch earlier than that, but it's important to try to do the best you can and to make as many connections as possible within the company you're in before jumping, even if a better offer comes along. But evaluating that offer is also an art in of itself, and we'll talk about that separately. Let me know what stage you're in right now. Are you looking for work actively? Are you working somewhere and wanting to get a better opportunity? Do you just want to jump into product management for the first time, or have you been in product management before? Are you just out of school? Tell me about your situation. I'm happy to answer any questions about resumes or jobs or the interview process. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and let me know also what other videos you'd like to see. Thanks very much, and we'll see you next time.